We're here today at Televisa recording the biggest and most important episode of this season of Trebel Presenta. What Trebel Presenta is a music-themed show where we connect artists and their biggest fans. And today we're here recording the biggest episode of this season with Dana Paola.
¿Qué tal? Hola a todos, qué placer.
Dana Paola is the biggest Mexican pop star. She's an amazing singer, amazing actress. We're very excited to have her on the show today. Televisa is the biggest broadcasting network in the Spanish-speaking world. They have more than 20 cable channels, 4 broadcasting channels, and they reach about 95% of homes in Mexico. Televisa's relationship is very important for Trebel. With Televisa, we've been able to reach a massive audience all around Mexico, and we've also been able to do things like what we're doing here today.
Para nosotros los artistas es increíble que siga habiendo más plataformas donde puedas streamear nuestra música. Y así Trebel te da la oportunidad de hacerlo legal y sin límites. Así que no olvides descargar la app y disfruta de mi música en Trebel.
Hey guys, so I had a chance to download the app, do my research so that I could be a better help. We're here to be with Trebel to understand their current efforts, what's working, what's not working, so that I can kind of diagnose and see where there might be some large opportunities.
Bob and I often talk about how are we going to get to billions of people around the planet, right?
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of incoming from Indonesia, for example, saying, hey, when am I getting Trebel? How come you guys are not here? We're hoping to raise a lot of money through a Regulation A offering. How are we going to invest that money to do one very, very important thing? Triple, quadruple our users in a very short time frame.
If we wanted to go to Indonesia next, walk me through what does that look like, timeline, etc.
Opening a new territory is not complicated.
We found that you need about 5 million people
5 million, okay,
in a market
okay.
for us to then monetize it in a way to cover the royalties.
We have to consider something called minimum monetizable scale before we enter into new markets. And here's what this means. Number one, we've got to be big enough to get the attention of brands while we're still covering costs of things like royalties, customer acquisition, and company overhead. Things change when we get to about 5 million active users in the market. So as that active user number goes up, the cost per user on an amortized basis goes down. User growth is our top priority when we consider expanding into a new market.
So what I found is buying time is really the best way to grow a business in the way of acquiring competitors. So if we're looking at Indonesia, I'm sure there's someone who created a free music app in Indonesia and now has millions of downloads and users. You can immediately swallow that app. You can pull them into your user interface, expand the catalog, and immediately have the sales side of it kind of already pre-sold even.
His idea was acquisition of customers through acquiring companies, and I loved it.
And then tracking the success so we know what's working and what isn't. I believe that it's a very safe and secure way to grow the business. Of celebrity, any celebrities on the line that you're excited about?
What we looked for is global name, big social media reach, but they have to appeal to the US Hispanic market and the Mexican market because that's where we have a big user base right now.
Right.
So we narrowed in on Maluma,
Nice.
Pitbull, J Balvin, and Bad Bunny.
Celebrities are great because they're great at the top of the funnel of awareness. You have someone like Maluma with 50 million followers. People buy from who they like and trust. So it's really nice, especially when you're opening up new markets. It's one of the most effective ways to reduce your customer acquisition costs because you're not having to scream about, hey, this new service, me. It's, hey, here's someone you love and it's their app.
Josh really has the pulse of his generation. Even though he's like half my age and half Gary's age, he has expertise in Gen Z and millennial marketing. So that consultation, we would have spent months just trial and error. You know, it really paid off in that capacity. We are here in Beverly Hills, outside the Peninsula Hotel, where Chris Birch is up in his suite.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we have pitch meetings, which is exciting.
The process with Chris Birch has been a little bit atypical. He really invests in people, and his team does the analysis.
I love this. You're actually pitching me hard, dude.
So after Gary and I left him in Miami, we then had a string of follow-up calls to actually figure out how much he was going to invest. So I'm going up there with something called the presumptive close. I am presuming he will be closing today. I'm hoping to get 250,000, and I'm going to make sure that I do not leave until he clicks to invest.
Tell me more about the business. What's going on?
Trebel is a music app unlike any other in the world. It's on demand, it's offline, it's full licensed library, but it's free for the consumer.
The highlights are user growth continues. Every day we're adding 40 to 50,000 users. And new music. We just signed a deal with Merlin. They're the aggregator of all the independent labels. So we're scaling. We're doing this without adding a lot of overhead. Actually, we have to formalize that. We do have some business to do today.
I don't like formalization.
We've got to get over the computer.
Punch it in, brother.
Let's do it. I'm going to get Chris Birch to actually invest in the reggae on my computer. A deal isn't closed until it's done. So I took the liberty of the first couple simple steps of the click to invest process. So I put in your name, your email. They asked for social security number, then they asked for your income and net worth. So I took the liberty of estimating some things I read in Forbes about you. The next step, invest in Trebel. How much do you wish to invest in this offering? And they're asking for the number of units.
250,000.
250,000.
250,000. Once I like a human and I believe in what they're doing and I understand their vision, I let my team do a lot of back work. And my team's amazing. When they came back and said, look, we really like this business because it's different, it's global, I said, I'm going to dip my toe in this thing and help them make a good business.
And there you go. We're partners again.
Brother. It's exciting. I think it's going to be a really exciting venture, and we're going to, give a lot back to the world.
With the Chris Birch investment, it's Chris Birch as the investor that matters far more than his money. But getting Chris Birch as an investor is going to be highly strategic for our company.
This is Gary.
I want to introduce you to your newest partner, Mr. Chris Birch. He already made introductions to some brands. We expect him to help us as we go global because he does business all over the world. And we see Chris Birch not just as an investor, but a real advisor, and he's now part of the operating team.
Just wanted to let you know the good news that I'm with you guys, and we're going to make it happen.
Thank you. Let's do it, Chris.
Bob, what's down the road for you? How are you looking at maybe creating liquidity for these investors that are going to sign up for your reggae offering?
So one of the things our CEO did was he made sure that we kept all swim lanes open for life after Regulation A. If we decide to stay as a private company, there's actually a path to doing that through filing a Form 1Z and then taking private money. That's one of the 3 swim lanes. The other is going public either the old-fashioned way or through an uplisting or a SPAC. Option 3 is we sell to someone with big muscles and a huge market cap. So we're leaving those doors wide open as well.
Please give a warm welcome to Trebel.
We are in Trebel. We think we are changing music.
We're tackling a massive and underserved market.
4.5 billion people with smartphones who will not pay for music, who cannot afford music.
The incumbent music streaming services make valuable features available as a subscription to people that want to pay $10 a month. We have found a way to make these companies' premium features available for free.
So think about the power of free.
We are the only licensed music service that can deliver the core features of a premium service without asking a user to pay $10 a month. And we have the numbers to show for it. In the 2.5 years or so since we launched, we have gotten over 5 million people to use our service on a monthly basis and to do so consistently. When I'm doing a presentation like that, there are certain cues that I look for. In the last year, our monthly active users have grown over 62%. One of the biggest tells for me is when somebody starts to take pictures of your slide, and then you see the number of people holding up their phone to take pictures. If they're not interested, there's really no reason for them to take a photo on something like that. We have secured very difficult to get agreements with the major record labels that represent approximately 70 to 80% of all the recorded music in the world.
We have had over 250 brands buying video ads and banner ads inside of our app.
In Mexico, which is our largest market at the moment, we are consistently a top 3 app in the free music category in both the Google Play Store and the iOS App Store. The follow-up to this is we have money to raise, and there's a whole sea of investors out here with loaded pockets.
We believe that Trebel in the next 10 years will be the biggest music company in the world.
Saw a lot of well-heeled faces out there, and now it's time to get them on board as our partners.
So, what differentiates you from Pandora and Spotify? Is your long-term to have advertisements, or you do have advertisements?
Fundamentally, Pandora is a radio service, and there is no on-demand component, again, unless you're paying into their subscription tier. If you download Pandora right now and you try to play a song, say you listen to the new Taylor Swift single on the radio, you cannot do that unless you're paying into the service. Spotify, it's effectively the same thing on the free tier. The big thing with Spotify is that if you're paying into the service, that is the only way that you can download music. And why is that important? It's important for our users because they need to be able to play their music offline. And that is where the opportunity is.
So I'm often asked, how is Trebel different?
Are you ready? Yeah. It's gonna blow your mind.
The free tier of Spotify operates more like a shuffled radio station.
When you're on YouTube, isn't it annoying that like every 2 songs you get an ad?
We have a model that is going to give you the music that you want to play, to be able to pick and play that song, and you're not going to pay for it.
Then how do you make money?
That's a good question.
So what we're doing is we're taking a free model and monetizing it with brand partners.
Sony, Universal, and Warner are partners. We have full catalog.
Initially, when you're downloading the music, and that's where the advertising comes into play.
So it's only the best premium music, but with a great experience and paid for by the brands. We're meeting some great investors.
Thinking that, for me, it's a good opportunity to get in on the ground level.
In many cases, serial entrepreneurs, financial advisors, connected people. We're closing deals and we're opening doors.
Congratulations on your investment. Yeah.
Khaled, how are you? Nice meeting you.
When I think about the meetings off the floor, they are far more important than the on the floor.
I've been coming, this is my 3rd year to this money show. I've been meeting people, yes, investing. I'm blessed with wealth because of my family business.
That's where we move from rapport building and introducing the company to really getting our pitch out there and talking about the deal.
Yeah, what will be the exit if somebody wants to exit?
This is the kind of place where you can go from having the investor not know anything about your company.
The customer, are they mostly from the US or outside also?
To ready to become a business partner. So based on what you've heard, Khaled, you like the opportunity? In literally a nanosecond.
Yeah, it's interesting and it's worth taking a risk for 100,000.
Well, during that meeting, he made a $100,000 commitment to the company. We're hoping to get some ink today.
Going public is for entertainment purposes, and at no time do the company, sponsors, nor any participants provide investment advice, endorsement, analysis, or recommendations with respect to securities. On Going Public, you're going to hear from 4 companies that are giving you an opportunity to invest through an exemption from registration with the SEC called Regulation A. These offerings have not gone through a registration process with the SEC and do not have the investor protection that it provides. And it should be noted that just because the show is called Going Public, there is no guarantee that any company will in fact go public or ever list on an exchange like NASDAQ, for example. Bottom line, you need to know the risk going in. And Going Public makes no assurances or guarantees that any potential investor commitment or strategies discussed will result in company's success. Another thing you need to know is that Going Public is operated by Crush Capital, and Crush Capital is being compensated by the companies featured on the show. And some of our mentors have interest in the companies as well. These relationships mean that there could be a conflict of interest between the investors, Crush Capital, the companies featured, and the mentors on the show. We detail all these potential conflicts on the Going Public website at goingpublic.com.